It's great to be here, friends. Thank you for joining us in the Pro Plus weekly coaching every Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, brought to you by Dubb. Our good friend Darius is out of town. He's on vacation, so we wish him well, that he has some good quality time on a beautiful beach with his family. So shout out to Darius. You deserve it. Enjoy. Ina, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here with me to support the cause here. Folks, Pro Plus Coaching is about elevating you all. It's about taking you from this point and getting you to this point and beyond. It's not just a simple one-time elevation. It's a recurring flywheel effect. We are adapting constantly, okay? Historically, mankind, humanity, was gauged on their physical attributes. And then it started to go into their intelligent attributes, intelligence, IQ. So PQ to IQ. And then it started to go to the EQ, which is our emotional quotient. And this is our ability to work with teams, to work with other individuals, as sales professionals, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as leaders. Our emotional quotient is very important. Now we are on the frontier of our AQ, which is our adaptation quotient. And this is how we adapt to our surroundings. AI, video, automation, avatars, the economy, trust issues, spam blocks, emails that end up in spam folders, SMSs that get blocked, competitors, low-cost technology that sometimes we feel like is eating our lunch. Right now, we are gauged, and our success is heavily determined, not just on our IQ, but on our AQ, our adaptability quotient. So in today's topic, I've got something really good to share with you. And it's got a simple title, but it makes a lot of sense. Now, before I get started, can anyone tell me in the chat what the biggest problem in sales is? What is the biggest problem that we're dealing with on a daily basis when we reach out to prospects, when we try to go and build relationships from thin air? What is the biggest problem in sales? I'm going to jump in the chat over here and check in on you guys. Also, while you're in the chat, where are you tuning in from? City, state? Is there anything in particular that you're looking to solve? We do have 3 open mics, which I am going to address. Thank you so much for submitting those. Ina, if you could also please share the link to the open mic document. This is not a hot seat, it's an open mic. It allows you to go and submit your questions so that we can answer them and have a little bit of time beforehand to do research and to provide the best possible response. So, what is the biggest problem in sales? Let's go and take a look at what people think here. Okay. Getting responses, I validate that. Following up, definitely. Following up. Rick from Sandy Hook, thank you so much. Susie from BC, Canada, thank you. British Columbia, beautiful. Getting attention, Aldo, I like this. Getting attention with relevant info that solves an issue bugging the client. Addressing the pain point, right? Melinda, thank you so much. Coventry, Connecticut. Corey from Miami, Oklahoma. And then Michael, of course, from Mannheim, Germany. Here is my opinion on this. My opinion is that the biggest problem in sales is trust. The reason why we didn't get the response back, the reason why we didn't get them to sign on the dotted line, the reason why we didn't get them to come meet with us and work with us was because of trust. Now, that word trust is it's a charged term, that word trust, because feeling distrust, that sort of feels like it should hurt us, like we become some malicious entity that's trying to hurt them, someone that should not be trusted. That's not how I define trust in this capacity. The way that I define trust in this capacity is more like does that person feel an alignment? Is there a polarity that occurs that makes sense to the person? I trust that this is the right fit. So it's not about trusting you and your character and your morality. That's not what the word trust means in this context. It means more, is this an alignment? Is there a chemical fit here? So our goal is to go and find that fit, to find the alignment with the right prospect, with the right client, and to go and build a system to continue to find folks in that ideal client profile state, ICP we call it. So not all clients are a good fit. Not all clients are set up for you. Some of them should go to that low cost competitor. Some of them should go to that much more expensive competitor. Or some of them, frankly, should go and do the job by themselves because maybe they don't have a budget. But our goal is to find the fit and to make that person feel trust that the alignment is there. And when that alignment occurs, that polarity, that connection, that is, my friends, where the happiness, where the joy, where the value, where the mutually beneficial relationship starts to flourish. And as it starts to flourish, not only does that client get success, results, case studies, but they get that good feeling inside their minds, their heart and their soul that makes them want to go refer you and your company to their contacts, to their friends who are suffering from the same issues. And that, my friends, is what we might call the flywheel effect of marketing, where we find an alignment with an ideal client, we go and provide value, get results, build social proof, build success, and then that becomes now a word of marketing opportunity where our clients become our best marketers, where our clients become our best referral partners. And then, of course, you get this beautiful thing, which is the social coefficient. For every one client that I get, I go acquire another client, right? So that would be a 1x coefficient. This is a beautiful number for us to be focusing on. Some of the best companies on the planet don't have to spend any money in advertising. Just think about that for a moment. It is all based on referrals. I have a question for the audience. How many businesses are out there that are based on referrals predominantly? So if you put a 1 in the comments, that means that your business is predominantly driven by referrals. I would like to know how many folks out there have a business that's predominantly driven by referrals. Please put 1 in the comments if that is you or your business. Okay, so no, I don't see a lot of 1s in there. So this means that either everyone is asleep right now and we need to go get our coffee and we need to wake up, okay? Or the vast majority of businesses out there are not actually based on referrals. I'd like to change that. I'd like to make the majority of your businesses based on referrals. Now, if anyone would like to put in the chat how they find new clients, what your channels are they ads? Are they partners? Are they emails? Are they, Facebook ads? Whatever channel it is, I'd love to understand what your current channel of client acquisition is. If you could please put that in the chat. That way I get a little bit of context as to what some of the connectors are. Great. So, okay, so LinkedIn, that's a viable channel. That makes a lot of sense to me. Great. So let's let those come in. Landing pages, social media, outbound social media, and surveying the needs of existing clients. I like that. Picking up the phone and making a call. I love that one. That makes a lot of sense to me. Great. So there's a number of outbound activities. Having a completely referral-based business it's not easy. It's a challenging thing. Some people make it look very easy, but it takes years to develop. And I tell you, it doesn't occur overnight. It occurs over the course of daily improvements, daily upgrades to your process, to your flow. okay? And that is one of the things that we're going to be talking about in the weekly Pro Plus coaching. Folks, thank you once again for coming out to this coaching session. It means the world to me to be able to guide you, to be able to learn from you, to be able to learn and use technology together. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, Nor, thank you. Melinda, thank you. Leads from My Leads. Okay, probate, that makes us, sounds like a real estate play. Nor, Google Ads, door knocking, making calls. Beautiful. So we've got a number of outbound activities here. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I have a very simple outline that I just want to provide some transparency on here so that you guys can see kind of where I'm at in the process, okay? So this topic is called the psychology of trust in video selling. And what we discussed is that the biggest problem in sales is trust. Now, one of the things that I do want to talk about is what creates trust. Number one is seeing is believing, putting a face to the name. Number two is social proof. And number three is visual communication. So let's go ahead and unpack those for a moment here. So if our goal is to go create trust with our prospects, with our clients, with our referrals, with our partners, there's a couple of things that we need to focus on. Number one is being a visual communicator, okay? Nobody gets inspired anymore based on a text-based message in an email or an SMS or a LinkedIn or for anything that matter. Because now we know that most stuff can be written with bots, AI that can just generate a script, that can do a little bit of research on us, take a look at our info in some database online or LinkedIn or our website, and then come up with some sort of a response. I've seen some absolutely ridiculous text-based messages that have come my way. Hey, Ruben, I noticed that you went to USC, and don't you miss that great taco shop that was down the street? I didn't know what taco shop he was talking about. He just made some AI research on the year that I graduated from SC and then figured out that there was a popular taco shop that I had apparently never gone to. So it's awkward when people use AI to do research right now. There is nothing that is going to provide more value than a visual. Remember, seeing is believing, okay? So the phrase that I have here is putting a face to the name. How many times have we said that? Oh, it's nice to put a face to the name. The reason why that expression has become a little bit of a cliche and such a popular phenomenon in our society is because all of a sudden what happens when we see someone and we can put their face to their name is the neurons in our mind start to open up and our trust factor starts to increase. So our defense mechanisms go down and our trust factor starts to increase when people see us and they connect our face, our mug, with our name. So that's why we always use that expression. You send an email, you were on a group chain together, and then you finally meet the person, and then they say it's nice to finally put a face to the name. Okay, that is called visual communication, and this is all about what we preach: recording your face, recording your screen, getting visuals so that people can make a visual connection. Okay, the second thing that I think is really important here is social proof. It doesn't matter what we say to our prospects, to our clients. It matters what they say, our existing clients. That is what makes people call and take action, okay? We can go tell people that we are the best thing since sliced bread. We can go give all of our stats and all of our awards and all of our bling. But my friends, nothing is going to drive someone to take action like social proof, social validation, okay? Other people saying the results that they've received from working with you. This is what is very important. Let's take a quick little break here. Let me just jump into the chat. Feel free to light up the chat, folks. I'm gonna look every couple of minutes. So if people have responses, if you agree, if you disagree, if you have any particular anecdotes here, please feel free to share those in the chat, okay? There's no interrupting here. Yeah, Melinda, I love that. I send a video and actually say I want to put a face to the name on the letter you received. I mean, you're hitting it right on the nose. And what you're doing, I love that, because you're jumping over that requirement that we have in society to actually make that. You're addressing it head on and you're being very overt about it. I really like that, Melinda. Aldo, another trust issue is Maya, more advanced yet acceptable information that people don't relate to or is too advanced for the client. This is a great comment. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Aldo. Thank you for sharing that. Folks, seeing is believing. We have to put a face to the name, okay? We have to provide social proof. So when we talk about social proof, how do we mine social proof? What does social proof look like? Where are we going to go get this very elusive idea of social proof? Is it going to be a text-based testimonial? Maybe. We've seen those before. Those work. Is it going to be a case study that we build in a document and create a PDF of how a person went from here to here? Maybe. That's a good idea, a case study. Are we going to write a success story of someone that came to us that had a conflict, that had friction, that had a problem, a pain point, and then we addressed that and then got them to that future state? That makes sense to me. But let me tell you what my favorite way to get social proof is. You guessed it, it's video testimonials. And the more authentic that they are, the more real that they are, the more that I like them. I used to work for a company that used to spend a lot of money doing video testimonials. They had a studio, they had a professional cameraman and dolly equipment and these amazing microphones and a shotgun mic. And there was a makeup artist that would come, hair and makeup was there. There was a wardrobe situation. So they'd have the client come on site and they'd have them record this testimonial video. And we used to get this feedback a lot from these testimonial videos that they weren't very real, that they didn't really make an impact, that they looked like that they were overproduced. And I think what people were feeling was this idea of, look, if it looks like Alex Trebek recorded something and it's a paid spokesperson, people might not believe it, okay? It could be like, it's like an actor, okay? No disrespect to our acting friends, but there's nothing going to be more authentic and more believable than a real human that grabs their phone, that grabs the webcam in front of their camera and records a quick video, or to meet you in a Zoom call, to have that two-shot where you interview them and then they express their happiness, their joy, their contentment with working with you and your product and your service. There's nothing that's going to be more authentic and believable than that. So folks, I encourage you when it comes to social proof is to mine your video testimonials. Meet with people in Zoom. Set up the video reply call to action in your preset as a default call to action. If that does not make sense, we will provide clarity on that. Ina, if you could please put the link, the support link on how to add the video reply in the preset as a call to action. And I'll also provide a tutorial on that. Because now all of a sudden what you can do is you can send someone a video and say, hey, Ina, it was so great working with you. It would mean the world to me if you could leave me a testimonial video to share your success story. And then the person on the other side, Ina in this case, she would click on the link and she would record the video and say, Ruben, it was so good to work with you. I love your product. I love your service. Your team was great. Everything is awesome. I can't wait to refer you to my friends. That video testimonial can be 30 seconds long. But to have that MP4 file, to have that video file that you can put on social media and pin it to your social posts, to put it on your YouTube channel, to create a playlist on your YouTube channel with all your testimonials, to put a section on your website with all of your testimonials, all of your success stories. Folks, we practice what we preach here. If you type Dubb testimonials, you'll find thousands. I mean, thousands of them, because we've spent probably 20% of our time within our marketing to go and mine testimonials. And we're always populating them in our ads, in our social, in our YouTube, on our website, in our playlist videos. That's another support article that we should provide. How to add a video testimonial in the form of a playlist so that you can say your video, you can record your video, and then immediately after, you're going to get the testimonial video. Remember, folks, it's not what we say, it's what they say. It's what our clients say. Very important note here, okay? All right, so I'm gonna jump in the chat here. Thank you guys so much. The chat pumps me up. It gives me, it's like a fuel for me. It gives me some great energy. So thank you so much for sharing your comments here. Um, I had a client give me an email and read it on a video for my presets. Nice. Yeah, Jai, thank you. They need proof that you're real, credible, and aligned with your values. Yes, instantly connects the name, face, and tone. Beautiful. Awesome. Any questions, any confusions, any concerns? Okay, let's keep going here, okay? Now, the third way that I'd like to present that creates trust. Remember, that's the biggest problem that we're trying to solve in sales. Trust, getting people to trust that this is the right alignment, okay? The third thing that I like to present when it comes to trust creation is visual communication. Folks, we are looking at our monitors for hours and hours and hours per day. And we are getting these light bulb moments that we'd love to share with our clients. Look at this success story. Look at this opportunity that you can purchase, that you can invest in. Look at this PDF file that I'd love to walk you through. Look at this slideshow. Look at this document that I have here. Anything that we have on our desk, anything that we have on our screen is something that potentially we should and we could share with our clients and with our prospects. The problem is this. The problem is that most of us, unfortunately, spend most of our time chasing the person to want to come meet with us in a Zoom, in a live, in a meeting, at Starbucks, at a coffee shop, at the conference table, at our office, so that we have the opportunity to take them through that document, okay? So for example, if I have something here from Charles Schwab, okay? Charles Schwab is not chasing me to go send me a financial report on an investment that I made. They're giving the investment right here in snail mail. That's what they're doing. When I open this document, I'm going to go get a report on an investment, and it's going to be visual in nature. It's going to hopefully answer some questions that I have, but it's going to be mine to review. Imagine if we spent all of our time chasing people instead of engaging people. This is a very important nuance, and I think it's very important to ask yourself, are you chasing and trying to get people to meet with you, or are you attracting and engaging people? This is a very important nuance here. I'd love to get a response in the chat. Do you feel like you're attracting, or do you feel like you're chasing right now? Please give me your absolute brutal honesty. I know the feeling of both. I know what it's like to chase, and I know what it's like to attract. Do you feel like you're chasing, or do you feel like you're attracting right now? Be brutally honest. The more honest you are, the more opportunity there is for growth. Yeah, that's totally normal. It's totally normal to feel like you're chasing, okay? And the reason why I think that we feel like we're chasing too many times is, in my opinion, it's because of mindset issues. People have told us, keep grinding, smile and dial, call them until you're dead or they're dead. Follow up until you're blue in the face. Get 12 rejections. It keeps going. It keeps going, right? The idea of this hustle culture has been so ingrained in our minds from the movies that we've watched, from the former bosses, from, sometimes social media, that we have become a little bit brainwashed in terms of spending most of our time chasing people and trying to get them to meet with us, then jumping over that wall ourselves with confidence, with abundance mindset, and saying, you know what? I have the value, I have the information, and there's nobody stopping me from sharing this information. I don't need to chase people. I can go create value and put it out there on channels that are already provided to me, that some of which are free. Okay? Nothing is stopping you guys from going out, sharing value, and attracting people. Folks, we are not stuck in a mindset of chasing people. You know why? Because sometimes it's desperate, and that's not why we are here. Folks, we are here because we invest in ourselves, we invest in technology, and we give ourselves our own platforms. We are not depending on anyone to give us a platform. This is a choice that we've consciously or subconsciously made the second that we said we're going to use video, we're going to use AI, we're going to use technology, we're going to use a CRM. We made the choice to put ourselves on a pedestal and to go and attract people, not to chase people. Okay, so this is a mindset thing. I would love to have you just give me sort of a manifestation here and just put I attract in the chat if you don't mind. Hopefully that doesn't feel too campy. There's so much neuroscience behind manifestation, and not saying if this happens, then I will do this, to embody it and to start to do it right here and right now. So if you would please join me in putting I attract in the chat. It's a really good place to start. I attract. Yes. I attract. That's it. That's our starting point. That's the mind shift change. Now, we're not dependent on anyone. We're not waiting for someone to grace us with their response, to just lay out, to open the door for us, to open the gate. Nobody is stonewalling us, and nobody's rejecting us, and there's no firewall that's separating us from them. We have all the channels to go and share value, and most importantly, attract people. I attract, I attract, I attract. Rick, thank you so much for saying that. I attract clients easily and effortlessly with my Dubb Reach Out. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So let's move on. I'm going to go back to my outline here. When we get people to know, like, and trust us, they will buy from us. When we get people to know, like, and trust us, we get people to buy from us. So this is a great acronym, KLT. So a lot of people, you'll hear that. It's kind of a cool little acronym that sometimes people say, hey, I'm a KLT guy. Know, like, trust, okay? Get people to know us, get people to like us, and get people to trust us. Because remember, folks, if they trust us, they will buy from us, okay? So let's be KLT people. Know, like, trust people. It's a good place to live. Don't try to get people to trust you before they know you. Don't try to get people to like you before they get to know you. Don't flip those around. It's KLT. It's nothing aside from that. The problem with trying to shortcut that and getting people to trust you before they know you and before they like you is that you're not respecting the human connection, the basic human need to understand what's in front of us, what is this person, what do they stand for, and should I trust them? Let's respect that. Know, like, trust, okay? This is another one that I love. Nobody wants to be sold to, but everyone wants to buy. I have to give a shout out to my good friend Jeffrey Gitomer, the king of sales, who wrote the Little Red Book of Selling, Sales Bible. He's a great friend. He's been on my podcast. He's sort of the OG sales influencer. He's an aggressive guy, but he's super entertaining to listen to, and I love his style. He talks about this. Okay, nobody wants to be sold to, but everyone wants to buy. What a great opportunity! What a great opportunity! There's a conundrum here. There's a contradiction. We are salespeople. If our goal is to drive revenue, I don't care if the word sales is not in your title, on your business card or your email signature. If you are responsible for driving revenue in any capacity, you are in sales, period, full stop, no exceptions. So embrace that, okay? The contradiction, though, here is that how can we, if everyone wants to buy and people want to get sold to, and we are salespeople, shouldn't we be buy people? Shouldn't we be buy consultants? There's a funny joke in there. But the takeaway here is that sales does not mean we're pushing stuff on people against their will. It means that we're sharing value, listening, understanding what they're trying to solve, and then providing a viable long-term solution for them. That is what sales means. It's not about always be closing and always be selling anymore. That stuff doesn't work, okay? Of course it's important to keep our eye on the prize. Of course it's important to have a pipeline and to be perseverant. But folks, the best salespeople on the planet right now are the people that are consulting. Always be consulting. That, my friends, is what gets people to trust you. If you become the consultant, if you become the source of truth, okay? If you become that person in their mind that's always top of mind, that's the authority in your particular field. So nobody wants to be sold to, but everyone wants to buy. If you keep that in mind, you understand now that by consulting them and guiding them to ultimately get them to purchase something that's going to provide value to them, you now become their advocate, not someone that's against them, okay? This is another one that I love to talk about. If you can make them laugh, you can make them buy. Please put a 1 in the comments if you use humor in any capacity in your sales process, in your emails, in your social media clips, in your Dubb videos, in your YouTube videos, in your live meetings, in your persona, when you present, when you're on a stage. Do you use humor? If you use humor, please put 1 in the comments. If you don't, that's totally fine. Okay. We got some 1s in here. Susie, always. I love that. Aldo, Melinda, Rick, Michael, Susie, Kind. I love that. Okay, so we've got some jokesters in the room. That's awesome. Humor is one of those. There's actually books that teach you on how to use humor for sales, which is so ironic to me. I have a book right there called Dad Jokes. So I guess I'm also one of those guys that uses books to learn how to crack jokes. But humor is one of those things that I think is really important. And, my definition of humor is not like a traditional joke with the punchline, because sometimes those can be a little bit cheesy. My definition of humor is getting someone to smile, bringing joy. These things for me come out with authenticity, with vulnerability, with, if I make a mistake, laughing at myself, self-deprecation, we call that. There's a lot of ways to employ humor, sometimes sarcasm, there's all sorts of different tools. I don't want to teach people how to be funny. That's not what I do. But it's something that I think all of us can work on. I think it's something that we can do research on. It's something that we can just sort of open up in our minds. And if there is an opportunity to bring joy, to make someone smile, to make them laugh, to make them giggle, why not take that opportunity? Of course, always think before you act. Think before you say stuff. The last thing you want to do is to say a dumb joke, an inappropriate joke, and all of a sudden now you're canceled. That's not something that you want to do, unless that's your vibe. But for most of us, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to create friction and insult people. What are the 3 things that we're not supposed to joke about? Politics, sex, and religion, right? So, find your boundaries, do your research, use ChatGPT, use Auto inside of your Dubb dashboard as your AI assistant, and figure out ways that you can craft your humor. Because remember, my friends, if you can make them laugh, you can make them buy, okay? So, moving right along, people buy from humans. People don't buy from companies. Think about it. The signature on the check is always a human being. The name on a credit card is always a human being. There's no such thing as a corporate entity that files and transfers the funds to another corporate entity in business. There's always a human being that has to approve it, at least for the foreseeable future. So it's important to remember that you're selling to humans. And it's humans that buy from other humans. This is a very important nuance here, okay? So some of the work, I'll just go ahead and share my screen here. So some of the things that I think are very important when it comes to being a human, your authenticity. Did you know that people actually have a sense? It's like a sixth sense of authenticity in other human beings. It's not something that we talk about a lot in our society, but we all feel it. I don't trust that guy. He's too nice. Did you see the way he looked at him? You see how little his tip was to the waitress? You know, there's all sorts of things that we are gauging subconsciously and consciously. We're sort of judging people, we're understanding people, we're trying to figure out what they do, what they say, and we're gauging their authenticity. Authenticity is not something that can be faked. So it's very important to root yourself in your authenticity, free of ego, filled with love and compassion and empathy, here to serve other people. Very important nuance here. Okay, the last thing you want to be is an AI avatar that people don't trust. Okay, they call that uncanny valley. When you see a weird AI avatar and you don't trust it because of the fingers and the teeth and stuff, it's called uncanny valley because the trust factor decreases, and on the chart there's a low dip in that there's a low valley, which is basically the trust factor. Okay, the second thing is vulnerability. It's okay to make mistakes. Your mistakes are what make you as a human being. And that's very important, because if you never make mistakes, then you're lying. You're not honest with people. So by being honest and being vulnerable about something, it allows people to connect with you. Your sincerity. People can genuinely feel your sincerity, so be sincere. Your integrity. We must do things with the highest code of ethics. This is with great power comes great responsibility. As Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man, it's very important to leverage all this amazing technology that we have, AI, video, automation, all these things, and to use it for good. So maintain our integrity at the highest levels. Humility. Ego doesn't get us much. It just gets us more pain most of the time, pretty much all the time. So why not just stay humble, you know? And then empathy, which is really feeling for the person, what they're going through, and trying to make a connection to that. And when people feel that empathy, they're gonna feel the consultant in you. They're gonna increase their trust, and they're gonna feel like they want to work with you. Okay, and if they trust you, they're gonna buy from you continually. So we must be compassionate. We must be empathetic to their situation. Okay, let's take a little break here. Any questions? Any comments? Anything I said that you guys disagree with? Anything that I said that resonates with you? Love to get some feedback here. Let me jump in the chat. Okay, let's move on. So let's get into some best practices now. We spent the first half talking about some soft skills, talking about some mindset issues. You know, we talked about this idea of trust being the biggest problem in sales that we're trying to overcome. How do we overcome it? Being visual communicators, providing social proof. Remember, seeing is believing, putting a face to the name. It's so important, okay? Let's get people to know, like, and trust us. Then they can buy from us. Remember, folks, nobody wants to be sold to, but everyone wants to be bought. Everyone wants to buy. So let's just be that consultant. Get them to the finish line. That's where they want to go, after all. If you can make them laugh, you can make them buy. Let's use humor here. Let's bring joy. People buy from humans, not from companies. These are the important mantras that we love to talk about. Authenticity, vulnerability, sincerity, integrity, humility, empathy. Very important. Now let's get into some best practices. Go ahead and share my screen. So some of the things that I love to talk about when it comes to the best practices in sales, it really comes down to these three categories: prospecting, nurturing, and closing. That's really where we're going to root ourselves in. I would love to get some feedback from our audience. Where do we need the most support in? Is it prospecting, finding new clients to put into our pipeline? Is it nurturing, which is taking the existing people in our CRM, in our pipeline, and then getting them to go to the finish line? Or is it closing, which is we've prospected properly, we've nurtured, but now we just need to get people to sign on the dotted line or put their credit card in? Where do you guys need help? I see a couple of nurturings. I see assumptions around prospecting. I really like that, Aldo. Thank you. Amazing. So the realm that we love to live in is prospecting and nurturing, and then the assist when it comes to closing, because closing obviously is something very nuanced for your business, and it really requires your skill, your flow, your process. But we definitely try to facilitate that with some of these best practices like visual communication. Okay. So the thing that I always love to talk about is getting into a daily flow of sending videos. If there are 100 people on your hot list, you should be sending 100 video emails to them. If you have their phone numbers, you can SMS them. LinkedIn, you can send them messages there. Why not be omni about it? Okay. Now, remember the thing that I mentioned earlier. It's not about chasing, it's about attracting. So when I think about attracting, it's about attracting with value. So we cannot attract unless we have some value, okay? A flower cannot attract with its beautiful rose petals unless it has a sweet nectar. The sweet nectar, in our case, of course, is our value, the education that we provide. This is why we love to use artificial intelligence to help us write scripts. So the way that we always talk about using AI to help us write scripts is in the Dubb mobile app. If you open up the Dubb mobile app, let me stop sharing my screen. In the Dubb mobile app, there is a brain icon right here. If you click the brain icon, you have an AI writer right here, okay? And then all you have to do is click the camera button on the bottom, click on that testimonial, let's see if I can get that for you, the teleprompter button right there, and now you have a teleprompter built directly into your camera. This teleprompter that has written a script for you based on AI is an amazing way for you to be able to provide value to someone in the form of a video email. It's visual, it's building trust, it's putting a face to the name, and it's providing value, value, value. So we love to talk about this method. Don't be afraid, folks, to pick up your phone and send that video email message to all of your hottest prospects. Just make sure that you provide value in your message. One of the things that I love to do is I love to use my selfie stick here. I put my selfie stick on my desk. I have it hold my phone just like this. And it's an amazing way to record directly into my phone. If I want to have my phone upright, I go like this. If I want to have my phone sideways, I go like this. Dubb.com/gear. You can grab these on Amazon. They're like 20 bucks. Very, very cost effective. It's a good tool to have. And frankly, it looks like a lightsaber when you're not using it. They also have these remotes where you can click it. You just have to remember to charge the battery. Okay. So providing face videos with the Dubb mobile app, it's a highly effective way to build trust, to communicate visually, and to get people to book a time in your calendar, to sign on the dotted line, to put their credit card in, whatever your payment method is. The other thing that we love to talk about is the Dubb Chrome extension. The Dubb Chrome extension is an extension. If you have not yet installed the Dubb Chrome extension, please go to dubb.com/Chrome. And then what that allows you to do, it allows you to click one button in your Chrome browser. You can select screen, which is your entire screen here, and then I can go ahead and record my screen. There is what we call person in the circle, and now I have the ability to share everything that's on my screen. So let's say, for example, there was someone that I really wanted to present this information to right in this document because they were not able to attend this meeting. I don't need to go chase them and have them come meet with me and go give all this information again to them. Why would I chase them? Why don't I just skip the line, jump over that self-imposed firewall, and start providing value and attract them. So I might just actually take them through my document. I might say, here is an outline, here's a presentation that I have on the psychology of trust in video selling. Let me take you through a couple of these points here. I can add annotations here. I can put some shapes. I can number things while I'm communicating. I can circle stuff. I can add some text. I can underline. And so much more. This, my friends, is a highly effective way to communicate. Now, when you're done recording this video, simply click on the Dubb icon up here, and then you can pause it if you need to take a moment, take a break. You can cancel it if you want to do it over again, or you can commit that. And once you commit it, in seconds, it's going to be uploaded to your Dubb account. And then here you go. You have value, my friends. You have this sweet nectar inside the flower that attracts those gorgeous honey bees, okay? This video right here is a phenomenal way to communicate because you are focused on sharing value, sharing visuals, building trust, not chasing, attracting, okay? Remember, every video that you create on Dubb builds an instantly generated landing page, okay? So now, boom, here is my landing page created within seconds. Because I have my preset right here, Ruben's default preset, everything is pre-configured for me. So, Ina, if you could please share the support article on how to build your presets so that you can set it and forget it. You can craft this page to look exactly how you want it to look. And then every time you create a video there forward, it's always going to be generated for you auto-magically, okay? For me, it's my video, it's my calendar booking, reply with video. Remember I mentioned that for testimonials? It's become a Dubb partner. This is our referral program. My SIA AI assistant over here on the right, as mentioned, my calendar, people can book a time. I can also go and actually add my video testimonials in my playlist. So if I have a playlist feature here in my presets, I can actually go to testimonial, and then I've got a sort of a collection of video testimonials here. Let me go ahead and save that. And now this is the way to do full circle. You remember we were talking about social proof and how important it is? This is a very technical way and very simple way to go and take your video testimonials and append them to your recorded videos in the form of a playlist. To repeat myself, every video that you create on Dubb builds an instant generated landing page. And your instant generated landing pages have a preset where you set it one time with your calls to action, your playlist videos, your AI assistant, your branding, whatever you want on it. And then every time thereafter, it's automatically appended. So if I go and add my testimonials, now I've got my playlist of my testimonials. So after people watch the first video, the second video that's going to automatically play is my testimonial video. So now I'm integrating the social proof into my overall sales communication. And here it is with my testimonials right there, right after my video. Folks, it's not what we say, it's what they say. It's what our clients say. So let's incorporate our testimonials into our communication, okay? So we talked about using the Dubb mobile app. We talked about creating, let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. We talked about using the Dubb mobile app with the teleprompter to make a personalized video to a particular individual, a group of individuals, a company, if you're using account-based marketing. Do a little bit of research on them, use the AI assistant to come up with a script that's valuable to them, okay? And then go ahead and record that video, send it over email, send it over SMS, send it over LinkedIn. Get this message to them that showcases your value. Always start with a smile, start with a wave. We love doing that. People want to see smiling people. So bring your inner joy. Even if you're having a bad day, find that inner joy. Go back to your happy place and bring them that happiness. We can all do it, okay? We talked about screen videos. We talked about the Dubb Chrome extension. Please make sure that you have that installed. It's included in your account. We also have the Dubb desktop app. I just want to take a moment to share the Dubb desktop app. Enoch, if you could please put the support article for the Chrome extension for the Dubb desktop app. But this is the Dubb desktop app right here, Mac or PC, okay? And it's a little bit more powerful. It has more features. It's going to make the screen recording process pretty easy for you. So I would encourage that you go install the Dubb desktop app. And here's what that looks like. You can record your screen, you can record your webcam, a narrator video, which is taking your pre-existing video and appending it onto B-roll screen footage. We can talk about that later. Importing your video from YouTube, a simple video editor, your AI assistant, AI avatar, and your Dubb dashboard. So consider installing the Dubb desktop app. Depending on your company, you might not be able to install it. Some companies do not allow third-party apps to be installed on their computers if there's like a firewall issue. So if there's any tech issues, let us know, support@dubb.com. Dubb Chrome extension, Dubb desktop app, two phenomenal tools that make the screen recording and screen sharing process extremely easy, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna go back to our outline. A couple of other additional ideas that I have for you all. A weekly video email newsletter, which is recording one video that goes out to your entire email list. What a great way to engage people. It's not text-based email, it's a video email. So you record your video, you grab the Dubb mobile app, use your selfie stick, even hold your hand. You can be on the field, you can be at your office. You're like, hey folks, it's Ruben from Dubb, and I wanted to give you an update and a State of the Union on all things video and AI selling. Here we go. That's my little video email newsletter. I go into the campaign center, I add my tags. Email, if you could give a support article for that. If you do like the idea of sending a video email newsletter, it's a great option. It's a great way to stay top of mind. It's one to many. This is called scale communication. Folks, a quick reminder, dubb.com/T for anything training related every single day, 10 a.m. Pacific. Visit dubb.com/T. This is our Zoom meeting where you go get to meet with Rob or one of our best trainers, and they will actually go and answer your technical issues every single day, 10 a.m. Pacific. Once again, dubb.com/T. Ina, if you could share that link, please. Another thing that we like to talk about is social content. The Dubb mobile app absolutely can be used to make videos for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, YouTube Shorts, and also if you go landscape, YouTube. So you can make full YouTube videos with the Dubb mobile app. The AI writer is there. You can record in clips. There's a lot of different technology to make that possible, okay? Folks, don't forget to mine your testimonials. Go get your reviews. Add the video reply function as your preset. Always be asking for testimonials from happy customers. And by the way, if they do share these moments of happiness, it's a great time to ask them. If they're like, oh, something really great happened, thank you so much for that. You're like, oh my God, I'm so glad to hear that. Would you consider recording a video testimonial for me? Ask them that. I will say that you do have to ask 6 to 10 times to get a video testimonial. Even if people are susceptible to it, even if they're willing to do it, you still have to ask them a number of times because people get busy, they forget, they're worrying about their own stuff. So just don't forget that anytime you ask for a testimonial, you're probably going to have to ask at least 6, maybe 10, maybe even 12 times to get them to finish that testimonial. It could be a Google review, it could be a Yelp review, it could be a video testimonial, whatever the case may be. The gold is in the follow-up on that one, okay? Folks, that concludes my presentation. I am going to jump into some open mics right now. There were some specific questions that I wanted to address. But I just want to inspire you all to build trust, to share value, and to close more deals with Dubb. The technology is here to be used as your tool so that you can drive results. We have seen phenomenal results from our clients. We have seen people close multi-million-dollar deals, generate millions of dollars of revenue, get thousands of referrals on a repeated base, get customers to be long-term loyal clients that love working with our clients. And we'd love to see the same type of success for you. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, any confusions, please throw them in the chat over here. Now let's get into some open mics, okay? So, Michael, thanks for that comment. I am going to address that in a moment here, but I do want to do the open mics first. Okay, so Michael, Auto, we have some good news. We're increasing the limits for Auto. It's so great to see people using Auto. As a refresher, Auto is the AI assistant built right in your Dubb dashboard. So if you go into your Dubb dashboard, this is Auto. This is your AI assistant. Auto is very fast. Auto is very intelligent, and it's here to serve you. Please click on this plus button here, and you can go and learn how to use some of the integrations into Auto to actually perform tasks directly inside of Auto. So Michael, thanks for the comment. Thanks for your positive notes. We are going to be increasing the limits on Auto so that you guys can get all this amazing AI support here, okay? Randy, you mentioned an email warmer to build your domain reputation. Email warmers do the sending and receiving. Okay, just so everyone has context, email warming software is software that basically allows you to go and take your email addresses and to warm them up to build your domain reputation. So the provider that you have is going to do the sending and the receiving to help you warm up your emails and increase that domain reputation so that you get your emails into the inbox, not the spam and the promo box where we do not want our emails to go. So email warming is a very good channel for that. R. Tracy at USABG, why use the Google Workspace? Okay, so if you have a paid Google account and you send emails through your paid Google account, you are going to get a higher daily limit. Google gives more limits to people that have paid accounts and more users on that account. So Ina, if you could please share that support article from Google that talks about the daily limits of a Google Workspace account versus like a free Gmail. I think that'll provide some clarity in here. Folks, as a quick reminder, you can send email campaigns through Dubb. If you knew that, great. If you did not, no worries. Left navigation, campaign, emails. All you have to do is configure your email sender, and then you can send broadcasts to groups of people. In fact, here are some of the emails that we send. We drink our own Kool-Aid, and every time you get a mass email from us, we are using Dubb to do so. So I encourage you to do that. That handles our open mics. Thank you for submitting those. I have a couple of minutes here, so I did want to address something. Michael, I love this comment. A lot of compassion here. Many people feel uncomfortable in front of the camera. Should I provide sample text for testimonials question so that they have an idea? I love this question. And I agree with you. You can't just throw a camera on some people and have them feel comfortable. We all know the type of people that are video friendly. To do this, what I recommend that you do is just meet them in Zoom. Because when you meet someone in Zoom, you don't feel like you're being recorded. You don't have that sort of anxiety of having a camera and light on you. And then what you can do is you interview them. So have a two-shot, or you can turn your camera off, spotlight the person that's speaking. That's an important feature on Zoom. And then ask them, what results did you get? What was your before state? What is your after state? What were some of the problems that we were able to address? And how likely are you to refer my business, our business, to another customer, and why? So if you go and ask Auto or your AI assistant what type of questions that you can ask a person, you can meet them in Zoom. And then with a little bit of editing and a little bit of cropping, with their permission, of course, you can take that video and make it a very concise testimonial. It's about cutting out those key moments. You don't need to have a 10-minute video testimonial. You're going to take out the key moments and then edit that down to maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds max, okay? Thank you, Rick, for the positive feedback. Really appreciate you. Very educational. Appreciate that. There's the link on Gmail sending limits. Aldo, thank you so much for upgrading to Pro Plus. Hey, that means I'm doing my job here. I hope I'm providing 10x the value of what you're paying in terms of the price. You know, I know that some coaching programs cost thousands per month. And that's not how we're set up at the moment. We want to provide value. We want you to invest in the software so that we can go and reinvest into the software. And we want you getting results because that's what makes us happy. It's also a great way for us to not have to continue to pay Google and Facebook for ads because guess what? You guys are in fact our best referral partners. If you do not yet have the Dubb partner link set up through the Dubb partner program on your Dubb account, please feel free to do so. On the right side of your dashboard is a widget called Be a Partner. If you are not yet in our program, you just click the Apply Now. It takes 30 seconds. It's absolutely free. You have to enter your PayPal so that we can pay you, and then you get a trackable URL that you can then refer to people. If you don't know this, we send 30% recurring commission for our partner program. So we'd love to have you participate in our success story. Thank you, Susie. Really appreciate it. Jai, throw your question in the comments. Let me address that. Yeah, Melinda, we'd love to help you set that up on your videos. Feel free to meet us in the daily live training, dubb.com/T. You can also ask Otto questions. Otto has been trained on everything Dubb related. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty darn smart and very fast. So consider using Otto. And then of course, if you'd like, as mentioned before, dubb.com/T. That is our daily live training, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Michael, you sent two open mics related to Otto, and I was reading them, and they are both basically related to limits. So we are going to increase our limits so that you have usage. They're actually on this other monitor. I'm staring at them right here. Yeah. So historical chats and then limits. Perfect. Oh, and then dictation. I'm reading that as well. So you like the feature request. You'd like the idea to be able to dictate into it. I love that idea. It's definitely in our pipeline. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Jai, I want to make sure I address your question. If you could please, I don't see your open mic here. Ina, if you could share that. We have a feature request from Jai. If you could please share that with me, or Jai, if you could type it into the chat. I apologize for that. We will address that. Any other questions? Any other concerns? Feature requests? That concludes today's sessions. I am going to hang out for a couple of minutes here once Jai puts the feature request in the chat, or we can address that next week. Thank you guys for being the best part about Dubb. Join the partner program, participate in our success, participate in our earnings. We'd love to pay you guys out. Build trust, communicate visually, share value, attract, don't chase. It's way cooler, works way better. And be your authentic self. Be humble, communicate well, provide value, and build relationships. Thank you guys so much for being the best part about Dubb. That concludes today's training. Okay, so let's see here. A couple of questions here. Okay, so 300 characters. Okay, so it sounds like there's a character limit. Okay, message received on that, Jai. We'll look into that. We'll add that to our list. And then, Michael, that's a good request, which is the ability to copy entire chats. There's actually an icon. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Tell me if this icon helps you when it comes to sharing your entire chat by copying it into your clipboard. So if you have a response here, at the bottom of the chat, there's a copy button. So if you click on that, then you can actually have the whole entire chat. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Jai, Ina, we talked about this. Okay, Ina will explain that to me, Jai. Cool. Awesome, guys. I'm going to wrap this meeting up here. Thank you guys so much for being the best part about Dubb. Ina, anything else before we wrap here?
Yeah, I think you got it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.